Hello and welcome to the video. Some of you were asking, this is the video where I will show you all the gear I take with me when I go on my hitchhiking trips. So this video is going to focus mainly on the updated gear. So the gear I'm going to take with me for the second part, which should start in 2 days after this video is uploaded. I will also tell you all the changes I've made from the first part, things I've changed, things I've added, things I've removed, and I went from 18 kilos on my back to 11 to 12, and it feels really good. This was a huge change for comfort. So yeah, I'm actually going to do the second part of my challenge this year. This will be my second attempt. For the first attempt it was last year in October when winter was coming, and the main problem was food. I don't eat enough when I'm on the road. And I was cold 24/7, no matter how many layers of clothes I had, I was cold. So the second part of my challenge will be in this area of Europe, so Eastern Europe and the Balkans. Yeah, this is a very good place to go with the current situation, I know. And I will be posting content daily for you guys on Instagram, which you can follow me right here. Come on, I'm waiting. Don't stare at me like a creep. Just go and follow me on Instagram. Okay, well, good enough. Let's get right into the video. And if you have any suggestion on what I should do for the second part, let me know down in the comments. Okay, so let's start with the survival kit. So I have a Swiss knife, which is really nice. I got it as a gift. So I have a knife, something to open bottles, can. I have a toothpick. I have this thing, I forgot what the name is. I have a saw. It's really nice. It's really handy for everything. It can really do it all. Next, we have a lamp. Something really powerful. This one is good. I used to have a headlamp, but I rather take this one. It's the same weight, and this can act as a weapon. It's not really powerful, this one, but this one you can really blind people, and this edge is really rough. It can really damage people if needed. We have 2 weapons in case if I need it. I hope not, but who knows. Next, some batteries for the lamp, because if it runs out. Next up we have some kind of medikit, so some bandage, dry swab, some disinfectant, and some tape. It's really necessary if you have a wound. I used it once and I was really happy to have it, because I hurt myself a lot during the part 1. It's not yet on video, it's probably going to be at the end of the part 1, so wait for it. I have then a survival blanket. This one I can use it and use it again, like you really need one. It's lightweight and it can go anywhere in your bag, and it can save you if you ever need it. It's really useful and it's pretty cheap, like less than 10 euros you can get one. It's COVID, we need some disinfectant for the hands. Yeah, that's just COVID. Some sunscreen, yeah. Depends on where you are going and if it's sunny or not. I had it in my bag during the first part and I used it once. But now I'm going toward the south, toward Greece. There is going to be a lot of sun, and yeah, it's probably going to be useful for once. Now if you are dumpster diving, it's good to have some gloves. Not even dumpster diving, but anything. So some plastic gloves, a garbage bag, and some plastic bag with zipper. So to protect your documents, money, your phone, anything. It's light, it's cheap, take it. And to finish, some bottles of water, of course. Those are two 1.5 liters. I'm probably not going to fill them up all the way always. It's going to depend on where I am, where I'm going. Okay, so next up we have the camping gear. So my tent, which you already saw if you watch my videos. If you don't, what are you doing here? Please leave now. I'm joking. Or am I? It's quite lightweight, 1.6 kilos. 6 liters, it's light, it's heavy, it's easy to transport, easy to build. You must have one that is rainproof, windproof, and yeah, it was 140 euros. Next up we have the sleeping pad. It's inflatable, quite light too. It's 500 grams. The comfort is meh, but it's alright. It's better than the ground for sure. One problem with this is it deflates randomly during the night. Sometimes it can go all the night without any problem, and sometimes I have to pump it back 1 or 2 times. Some patch for the sleeping pad if it breaks. Always good, it's small, you can put it anywhere. You can also lose it easily, but yeah. Next, of course, the sleeping bag. This one is kinda expensive, 160 euros. I had one at 70 euros. It's the same rating for 0 degrees survival. But this one is smaller, lighter. It's a bit thinner, so you really need a pad with it. Next up, we have an eye mask. It was really a good idea to take it. Like if you want to get a bit more hours of sleep in the morning when the sun comes out. I really love it. It's really useful. I will not recommend earplugs, even though sometimes it would be nice to have some. But I rather leave my ear free if there is any problem around me, like a boar, or a bear, or someone, anything. And for the second part about this compression bag, so with this I can put my sleeping pad and my sleeping bag in this, so I can save weight and put this outside of the bag. It's good. Nothing else to say. Some strap to put the tent at the top of my bag, and put this bag with the sleeping pad and sleeping bag at the bottom of my bag. So you have 4 of them. Next, if I want to make a fire, you have this, which you already saw in my videos. So it's just, like I said, cotton and some petroleum Vaseline. It lights really easily. It keeps the fire going, and yeah, it's quite cheap also. Cheap, light and small. Of course, a lighter. If you want to light a fire, you can use match, you can use a rock, and I don't know the name, you get what I mean. And for the second part, I added a piece of aluminium foil. Of course, take a lot more than this, you can fold it and use it. What I want to do with it is make cooking easier by putting some meat or some vegetable in it, wrapping it up and putting it on the fire. I think it can be handy, really handy. I also had a light in my tent, which I saw it was some kind of glow stick. Will not take it for the second part. It was light, but it was not really that useful, that powerful. So yeah, that's it for camping stuff. Okay, so in terms of clothing, I'm already wearing what I wear when I'm hitchhiking. So let's start with the shirt. I have 2 of them, so I can swap them. This is made with merino wool. It's really nice. it's a bit more expensive than your regular shirt. Those one were the cheapest merino wool shirt at 30 euros a piece. They can hold up to 30% of their weight in water. They don't smell that bad after a few weeks of sweating in them. I spent 5 days without a shower with the same shirt, and at the end I was not smelly at all, which was really nice. They don't wrinkle easily, so you don't have to iron it. But they are a bit more fragile. There is a few holes in them with the backpack. Next, I'm going to take two pair of pants with me. So I really like those. They are made for the mountain, for cold water, but it should go alright. They have 4 pockets in them, and you can remove the bottom part to make them shorter if it's too warm. So that's why I really like them. Now, this is my base layer. When it's slightly cold outside and I want an extra layer of warmth. This is really thin, but it's good at taking moisture out of your body. And it really doesn't take any place, and it's light. And then this one, which I also took on the first part and that I use on every day, it's really great. Cool vest. It's really nice, really warm, really thin, really light. But for some slightly cold weather, it's nice. It's not really good for the winter. So you have this, my rain jacket and rain pants. Yeah, they're effective for the rain and for the wind, for both of them. They are quite big, they take a lot of space in my bag, but yeah, it's quite nice. And what I like about this rain jacket is that you don't sweat easily in it. It protects you from the rain outside and from the sweat of inside. I don't know how it does it, but it does it very well. Next, so I used to have a way thicker shirt, sweater than this, but I'm going to take this one now. It has a high thing, some kind of scarf to protect your neck, and yeah, it should be good enough for April. Next, underwear and socks. I just take my regular ones. I suggest you for the socks to take some better quality one, because they can smell terrible very easily. And yeah, just protect you from the sweat and add a bit more comfort. Now the shoes. Those one cost me around 100 euros. They are quite nice. Just make sure to take some shoes that you are comfortable with. Something that will be on your feet all day, and yeah, just something comfortable. Spiderweb. Wow. In them they are a bit rainproof. Then next, a short to go in the water. It's light, small. And yeah, if there is a cool lake or a cool sea, you can go in it easily with it. It can also act as a regular pair of shorts to walk outside. Some winter underwear to put under your pants. It's really warm, really small, and high quality. Like, I think I'm going to need this for the first few months of the challenge. A scarf. This is not really a scarf, this is really small, but I really like it. I use it every time. It's really warm, and yeah, it doesn't take any place. Gloves. I had those during the first part. They are too big, too warm, so I decided to swap them for something lighter, smaller, and with them I can really do everything. I can just do everything. I can build my tent, use my phone. They are better when they are smaller. Next, a cap. I think it's useful in every season. When the sun is in your face and you want to hitchhike, it's not comfortable at all. So a cap is really good to have. It's small, light, and yeah, usually pretty cheap. Then we have the mask. It's COVID, we still have to wear mask. Some country require the FFP2 mask, like Germany and I don't know which one other. But I'm going to use mostly mask in tissue. I used to take a winter hat with me for the first part, but I'm not going to for the second part. I also used to have those polar socks that went really high. They are really warm. But I don't think it's necessary for the second part, so I decided to remove it too. And I also removed some shoe cover to protect my shoes from the rain. I never use them and my shoes are already rainproof mostly. Okay, and for the outer gear, so gear that doesn't really have a category to it. So there is my hitchhiking board where I write my destination. This is just some kind of whiteboard I got from Amazon. And yeah, it's quite nice. Because the first thing I took in the first part, this small piece of metal broke like 1 week in the trip, so yeah, this should last a lot longer. It's a bit more bulky, a bit more annoying to put in the backpack, but should still be good. I have of course a pen to write on the whiteboard with a bit more ink if I need to. I'm going to take a pen with me, not the pen, but only this part, just to save some weight. Basically, a towel. This one is quite small, quite light, and when unfolded, it's quite big and useful, yes. If I want to take a shower somewhere, or if I found a lake, found the sea, could be good. I love music, so I'm going to take 2 headphones, some old AirPods which are almost broken, and a pair of regular earphones. They are quite light and yeah, I love music. I cannot go a day without a bag. Just a simple paper bag to put the groceries I buy in it, and then I can pack my backpack later. I find that it's better like this, because when you pay and when you want to pack your bag with all the groceries you bought, it's always annoying. Toilet paper, I don't need to explain more. Some razor to shave yourself, to keep yourself clean. A safety pin, I think it's called. Yes, it's useful, and it serves mostly to unlock my phone so I can get the SD card from it. A small toothbrush. I'm not going to take a toothpaste, only a simple toothbrush. I'm not even going to take the box with the handle. I'm just going to take this part to save weight, and yeah, that's good enough. This thing, which is a small spoon and small fork, it's a bit annoying. I need to clean it because I forgot to clean it apparently. And yeah, there is also a knife, but I don't really use it, it's not that good. But yeah. Some money. I prefer money compared to a card. I just like the money because it's easy to use and there is not that many fees to it. My documents. So I have a passport, I'm going to take my driving license and the medical card for the European Union. I made a small piece of paper where I have my name, my phone number, my address, my mom's phone number, my blood type, my allergies, my medication, if I have any, And yeah, just in case if I have any problem, people can find this piece of paper and that will help them. And the most important to cross the border in 2022, the vaccination paper and my last COVID infection paper. With this I should be able to cross any border in the European Union until the end of summer, so that's good. And I used to have this. It might be useful to you, but it was not useful to me. It's called the Scruba. It's made to wash your clothes on the go. All you need is water, a bit of cleaning product, and you can wash your clothes anywhere. It's like 50 euros, but for me it was not really useful. I used it once in the hotel room in Gothenburg, and without any proper cleaning product, the smell was worse. But it might be useful to you, who knows. And yeah, I also removed a piece of string. I had a lot of string in my bag that I never used, so I removed it from my bag. Okay, and I almost forgot the most important thing, my backpack. It's getting quite old, it's starting to rip apart in some places, but I can still use it really fine. So there is 2 pockets in the front, 2 pockets on the side. There is a big place in the middle, which is like 50 liters. Now it's full with my clothes, but inside there is quite a bit of pockets, place to hide things, which is nice. And there is this top part, which also has some pockets, and you can remove it from the bag. And this is what I mostly use when I go to visit the cities and I don't have my backpack on me. This is small, doesn't take any place, and I can put everything, my camera, some water, some snack, just anything. And there is even a rain cover for the bag at the bottom of the bag. And yeah, and one thing, don't be a dumbass like me and cut those ropes. They are actually useful. They used to be really long. I was like, why are they long? So I decided to cut them. And this was a big mistake. Now when I want my backpack to fit comfortably on my back, it's really hard to fix it. Okay, so now for electronics and filming gear. So the most important item in my bag, I think, for hitchhiking is my phone. You can look at maps, you can find place to hitchhike, you can look at the weather. You can do anything with that phone. I'm not going to go on more than that. This is really useful. Of course, the cable to charge it, a power bank to charge your phone when you're on the road without any electricity. This one is from Anker. It's a 20,000 milliamperes. I used to have 2 for the part 1, but now I'm only going to use 1 because I have something else which is also a power bank. And it's this, the My Passport Pro wireless from Western Digital. It acts as a power bank with 6,000 milliamperes. But I bought this to replace my PC, which I had in my bag, to save all the videos I have on my GoPro. And of course the cable to charge it. And 2 more cables to charge my GoPro and my power bank. So I have a GoPro 8. You can see the image here. Those little fluffy things are some wind jammer, which really improves the audio quality a lot. It removes a lot of the wind. And I was really struggling when they broke in Helsinki. It was, yeah, the quality was terrible. 3-way 2.0 from GoPro that I'm using as a pole, just for everything. It's really nice, it's a tripod. I have a head strap to put my GoPro on if I need to. I don't use it that much, but it can be useful in a few situations. I have 3 batteries, so I can swap them, charge them on the go, so I never have to run out. I have 2 SD cards of 128 GB with the adapter. It's more than enough. Still from Anker, this charger with 2 USB ports, so I can charge my battery and my phone and my camera on the other. 2 USB ports is really useful for me with all the electronics I have to charge every day. And lastly, something I got for the second part, in replacement of my old bag, is this. So I can put my GoPro there. In front there is a small pocket where I can put all the batteries, SD card, cable. And this I can strap this to my bag. So it makes one bag to carry and not the big bag and the small bag of the camera. So yeah, it's way better. It's a bit heavier than the other bag, but it's way more practical.